Hey girl, hey! Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to see you. This quarantine period that we are all in has got me bored. I mean, thankfully I'm still working, but you know, not being able to leave the house really puts a damper on things. Maybe you guys are like me and you have some spare time, so I thought it would be a really great time to do a concealer wear test. Although most of us can't leave the house to go purchase this, if this little e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer performs, it'll be something to put in the back of your mind when you finally need to try out some new concealers and you're like, okay, I know which ones I want to try. So onto this e.l.f. concealer. We're going to be doing a wear test today of this guy. We're going to be wear testing it for about 6 hours, so make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video because you want to see how it performs. Now, I purchased this at Target for $6. So it's drugstore. It's supposed to have a hydrating satin-like finish. It's supposed to be long wearing as well. And in the actual drugstore, the shades that they had were like amazing. I actually had a good 3 shades to pick from, and it really this shade that I picked is deep chestnut, but I could have gone a little bit lighter. It's just like personal preference, what kind of like concealer you like, the super highlighted or the natural, or kind of like your skin tone, you know, but better kind of look. I had all of those options, which was great. So before we get started, if you happen to notice that you're not subscribed, girl, smash that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you can join me for my new uploads. Now, with that being said, let's get started with primer because I want to show you how I set this up. So I've got my primer cocktail with the usual suspects. First, we're going to start off with the Fenty mattifying primer, and I'm going to be applying that in my T-zone and also the cheeks where I kind of get a little bit oily, the sides of my nose, and also my chin. Next, I'm going to be using the Farsali Skin Tune Blur, and this guy here is just an amazing blurring primer. Love it so much, totally worth the price. And I'm going to be applying that to the rest of my face that's not my T-zone. And then on the high points of my face, I'm going to apply the Farsali Liquid Glass, and this is just going to give me a nice, like kind of like a dewy look on those areas where I really want it to have that luminous effect. So now that my primers are all set up, I'm going to go in with my foundation. I'm using one of my faves today, the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and the shade that I'm using is 6W2 in Nutmeg. Now I'm just going to be applying that really nice and light. I'm not going for heavy coverage today just because it's not needed. I don't have any hyperpigmentation that I'm really trying to cover up, so just a nice even base to get a nice skin tone going. Now, la pièce de résistance, okay? The concealer. Look at this. This shade seems like it's going to be pretty nice to give a nice subtle highlight, and I'm hoping that it will cover those dark circles. The applicator, I love. It's actually a big enough wand so I don't have to spend too much time applying product. I love doe foot applicators. For me, I feel like it's the quickest and most comfortable application method, so like that a lot. Let's see, you get a good amount. How many ounces? They give you 0.2 fluid ounces, which I think is a good amount. So I've got a lot here, and I'm just gonna go in kind of lightly and just apply because we want to see if it really is that high pigment. We shouldn't really need too much, right? That's my hope, at least. And I'm going to go down the bridge of my nose, into my forehead, just a little bit. I don't want too much of a highlighted look. And right here. So far, I really like that color. And for somebody like me to have the option of having a golden undertone highlight, that's what I want. So I like that a lot. Now you can use your hand. your fingers, that is, you can use a brush or a sponge to blend. So my preferred method is a sponge. This is the new Real Technique sponge. It's the Miracle Complexion Sponge. So far so good. It really kind of defined and like pounced out my foundation, so I like that, but we'll see how it applies with the concealer. So far I like that. The sponge isn't picking up too much. It's just enough. I don't even see the hint of the dark circle underneath, so I mean, I love that when it blends out and it really is high pigmentation. Wow, I love it. To me, the concealers that are the most pigmented are great because you have a higher probability of actually covering the dark circles if you have them. And I feel like you only need a little bit. And if you want to make it last, that's always really nice. So this is it without any powder. Now, of course, I'm going to put in my powder here, but I really like it. I think it fits in so nicely with this foundation. It's so pretty to me. Now, of course, when we add the powder in, it's gonna make it look slightly different, but I love the finish so far. So I'm going to set this with my Fenty powder in Honey. And one of the things about this concealer is that it's supposed to not crease. Now, I have natural creases in my eyes, so I don't know how much that's gonna hold up for me, but I still have high hopes. e.l.f. pretty much has some bomb products. They know what they're doing. So I'm just going to lightly press this into the under eye area. Okay, so this is my face with the setting powder on. It looks great. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply the rest of my makeup. I'm assuming some of you guys still wanna see that. Now, I'm gonna apply some contour. This is from Milani in the shade Dark Deep. It's their highlighting and contouring duo, and I love it. It's so creamy, a really great drugstore option if that's something that you're looking for. Now, this bronzer is something new that I'm trying. It's from Winky Lux, and it's in the shade Espresso. It might not look deep enough on camera, but in person it is deep. I just happened to see this at Target, and I was like, oh, shoot, let me try this. So I hope that it's gonna be nice and blendable, but we shall see. It does have a lot of kickback in here, so something you wanna be careful of when you're swirling your brush around. Something I always do is when I get my bronzer or contour powder, I just kind of start with my neckline just in case I have too much product on the brush. It allows me to kind of be a little bit more flexible here, because when you go here, you want to make sure you don't have a lot. So this is nice and pigmented. Now for blush and highlight, I'm going back to my old favorite, the Natasha Denona, and I'm using the cream blush with the Laura Mercier brush. And you gotta go really light with this one because it is very pigmented. So just start slow and then build up. But the color is just, I mean, look at it. It's so stunning. And for the highlight, I'm gonna start with the Glow Cream Base right here. Just ever so slightly tapping that in and really blending it out nice. For highlights, I'm gonna go into this one here, the Glow Extreme. So for lipstick, I'm going bold today, and this is this really nice set from Laura Mercier. It's the Lip Artiste Red Lip Duet, and I've got the lip liner first in Crimson, and I'm gonna just line my lips with that. Now I'm gonna go in with the red lipstick in Rouge Ultime. So I'm gonna pop on some lashes, and then I'm going to come back and I'm gonna let you guys know my initial thoughts, and then we're gonna of course come back with some check-ins. All right, so lashes are on, and I wanted to give you guys a nice close-up of this concealer. So when you first apply it, it looks really smooth, has a nice smooth finish, and definitely a lot of great pigmentation here, and I feel like I cannot see my dark circles, which, you know, they're not too bad, but they can definitely shine through with some other concealers that I've used. For $6 so far, it's a banger. Now I need to see how this performs before I can truly get behind it. So make sure you stay tuned for the upcoming check-ins because we want to see how this looks like, and we even want to see how this looks like in sunlight. So I'm gonna go outside in a couple hours and really just see how this is holding up. Hi guys, so I'm back and I want to share with you what my experience with this concealer was. So right now I'm at the 6-hour mark. Now, as you can see, take a good look. I mean, it does look really nice. I do want to insert a clip of this concealer and this makeup in the sunlight so you can get a good feel for how this looks in person. I took this clip at about the 2-hour mark and honestly it looks beautiful. It's flawless. I love the texture. In that price, honey, you cannot beat that price. So I am really pleased with the way that it's performed, and now I'm looking at it and I'm like, wow, I don't even notice any creasing, and that's saying something for me because, as I told you guys before, I have natural creases on my under eyes. So I'm really impressed with this. I mean, come on, $6 for all this, and a lot of higher end, you know, concealers don't exactly give you the same type of pigment or perform this well. So I have to say that I'm really impressed. Now, if you would like to see some more of my reviews and wear tests, don't forget to check out the playlist right next to me. I love testing out makeup products and helping you guys save your coins. So if you've got some time, check those out. As always, I love you guys. Thank you so much for kicking it with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.